If you've been feeling like the way money flows in the world, the way it works, the way it operates, the way it comes to you has been changing, whether it's been increasingly harder to make or whether you've been feeling kind of the nudge to deepen in your work, master your work more, maybe even bring some of your spiritual gifts to your work or change careers entirely, just really shifting what you do to make money. If you've been feeling any of that and feeling it grow and snowball, then you're not alone and you're not crazy, and I have a channeled message for you. This came through from my guides, my collective that I work with, and as always with these transmissions, please be sure to take what resonates with you and leave what doesn't. These transmissions, while they feel very much like the truth to me, are not intended to prophesize or tell you what is destined to be. Rather, these transmissions are meant to be shared with you so that you can find your own truth and awakening and perspectives within them. And so with that being said, let's dive into this message that I have for you today. The way money flows is changing. So much so that it is now becoming impossible to ignore. For many individuals, money now feels harder, thinner, sharper, more difficult to make as competition in industries and the greed of corporations grows, more elusive as strategies that once generated jobs or sales for companies and individuals alike have begun to falter and yield less results. Overall, money seems to have become less potent as prices soar and income stagnates. And for humanity as a whole, a tension, a teetering around money has been growing ever more volatile and precarious. Perhaps you have observed this in your own finances. Perhaps money has begun to feel more scarce and brittle for you. Or perhaps you have felt an inner pull to shift the way you make money, to deepen in your work, to bring more of your soul or possibly even your spiritual gifts into your career or business, so that you may find more meaning, more fulfillment, and more ease in your finances. And on the other hand, perhaps you have observed this on the macro scale with a bird's eye view of the bigger picture. Maybe you have noticed new patterns of thought or discourse around money and the moral responsibilities it carries, rippling throughout humanity. Maybe you have sensed a mass awakening, growing in speed and power, as society begins to turn its back on old empires and paradigms that must now fall away. Wherever or however you have seen this shift, it boils down to this: the way money works is changing. It has already changed, different now than decades or even years ago, and it will continue to change in the years and decades to come. This evolution in the way money operates, this rewiring of the requirements for mastering wealth in this reality, is not a random or isolated event. Rather, this shift in money is mirroring a deeper energetic shift in our society. For humanity is evolving. And while humanity and its society and economy are always in flux, always growing, always shifting and evolving, humanity is, right now, quickly approaching the ending of an old chapter and the beginning of a new one. As a result, the way many things operate in your world will soon shift, changing in their very nature and foundations. And prominent among these changes is the evolution of the energy of wealth. This transformation in the way money works in your world, the way it is made, the way it is mastered, the power it holds, the way it flows, is happening both as a result of humanity's evolution and as a tool meant to further humanity's evolution. And though many have and will see this evolution as a cause for fear, as most are prone to do when faced with change, this is not a time to be afraid. This is not a time to cling to old ways and adopt stories of struggle and pain. This is a time of beautiful growth, a time of expansion, individually, collectively, and cosmically. This is a time that your soul has been waiting for, so that it could both experience this evolution and help guide this evolution. This is a time for excitement, for new possibilities, for limitless potential and abundance. You, dear soul, are in a transitory time, a liminal space where old empires are crumbling, new paradigms are emerging, and the keys to wealth are shifting. For so long in your reality, the energy of money has been linear, governed by the frequencies of mastery and power. And while these frequencies remain intertwined with money, they are expanding and growing more nuanced, more potent. And new additional frequencies are being accessed, added into the mix, allowing the recipe for money to become more complex and more delicious. In this way, the energy that governs money is changing, evolving, deepening, and you have the opportunity to shift, to evolve, and to deepen along with it. Here is the truth that is begging to be brought to light. Mastering wealth is no longer a game of cause and effect, of brute mastery and power, but it is now becoming a game of expansion in all directions. To command wealth, you no longer must be limited by effort or energy spent. You are no longer required to be enslaved to hard work, sacrifice, or manipulation. A new equation for wealth is emerging. The energy of money is becoming multi-dimensional, so that humanity may see it not as separate from themselves, but as an extension of themselves, so that you may use it as a tool by which to expand your own soul and by which to witness the effects of your growth on the world around you. As you venture into the coming months, years, and decades, you will see more and more that mastering wealth, true wealth that nourishes your soul and benefits all, will require a deepening into the elevated frequencies that now govern it. These elevated frequencies, these energetic keys to wealth, these areas in which you are being invited to deepen, are the frequencies of surrender, mastery, power, and love. Alone, each of these frequencies hold ever-expanding potency. But together, they feed into one another, creating a frequency greater than the sum of its parts. This is the frequency of absolute abundance. Money is becoming so much more complex, so much more holistic, so much more spiritual and all-encompassing in your world. And you are now being presented with the opportunity to master it in an entirely new way than ever before. In a way that will feed your soul's growth, unlock an entirely new financial reality for yourself, and speed up the evolution of humanity for the highest good of all. So, dear soul, see this shift not as a burden or downfall, but as a beautiful gift and opportunity. For abundance in all forms is becoming available in new ways to those who are ready to evolve with this universal shift in energy. So, are you ready? Are you willing to shift, to deepen, to expand into the frequency and reality of absolute abundance? I have some thoughts and exciting things around what was discussed in this message that I want to share with you now. First, I want to say before I forget that if this message resonated with you, then I would love to hear what it activated in you, what you resonate with. in the comments below. This is always my favorite part of sharing these transmissions, is getting to hear what it's sparking in you and what it's awakening within you. So if you would like to comment below, I would love to get to connect with you there in the comments. Now, this transmission came through over a few days. And as it came through, I was personally amazed at the specificity of the guidance of the message. This isn't really the sort of stuff that I have channeled previously. Those messages in the past, even before I knew I was actually channeling and I just thought I was in flow state, but the messages that have come through in the past years have been more around the empowerment of money, right? Just self-empowerment, self-worth, self-trust around money, things like that. This message, this is so much more nuanced, and as the message even said, with the word multidimensional. But this massive universal energetic shift that this message talks about is something that I'm somewhat familiar with. And this is because, as many of you know, for the last several years of my business, I focus mainly on teachings around human design, which is a spiritual modality. If you don't know what it is, that's okay. But in human design, which is in a huge amount based on Western astrology, has this teaching in it, this philosophy, this kind of prophecy that in 2027, which we are quickly approaching that year, humanity is going to undergo a massive shift, a massive evolution in the way we are kind of wired. And the years leading up to it are getting more and more tumultuous to kind of prepare us for that time. And I already have a channeled message that's come through around that, specifically around the shift in 2027, that I'll probably share here on this channel in the coming weeks. But what I love about this message that I just shared with you is how it explains the physical and internal shift that so many of us are experiencing, specifically around money at this time, at this kind of precipice of change in humanity. I know I personally have had so many shifts, energetic and physical, that have really been exponential around money in my life the past 5+ years. And it's just been speeding up the last several years for me, the last couple of years, which really makes sense with this accelerating and evolving energy and this shift that the world is undergoing. I think a lot of us have been experiencing money feeling harder, or feeling ourselves called to evolve in our relationship with money, or the way we make money, or just how money flows in our life, and how we define ourselves against it. And I love that this message explains a lot of that. And it also paints an overall, and honestly, to me, very exciting and positive picture of not being afraid of these changes. It's really, to me, exciting to look at all the personal growth and different ways that we're gonna get to start experiencing making money and using money in a really soul-aligned and soul-affirming way as this energetic shift continues to snowball. Now, before we wrap up here, these 4 specific frequencies that the channeled message mentioned, right? These 4 frequencies that were named as the new or elevated frequencies that one must master in order to achieve true and spiritually fulfilling wealth in the years and decades to come. I've been getting really strong messages, channeled guidance like this transmission coming through around each of those 4 frequencies ever since this transmission came through. Like, they've just been flooding in. I've been receiving this deep inner knowing that these transmissions around these 4 frequencies I've been getting are meant to be shared with a small group of people. So I'm going to be putting those transmissions out as an offer called Absolute Abundance. And that will also include, with each of those 4 transmissions, it's going to have an accompanying card pull video, which is similar to those pick a card readings I do here on this channel that so many of you really love and resonate with. And those are going to be exclusive to that offering as well. And each of those will, like I said, accompany each of those 4 transmissions and really give more guidance and practical application of the concepts that are covered in the transmissions. So how you actually really harness each of those 4 frequencies and use them together in your life to create that frequency and physical experience of absolute abundance in the coming months, years, and decades as humanity moves into this new energetic era. So I have just today opened up pre-sale for the Absolute Abundance offer with these 4 transmissions and 4 card pull videos. The members inside of my Wealth Vibe membership got first dibs to this. So some of the spots are already claimed and being claimed for the Absolute Abundance transmissions. And today, the day that this video is posted, December 12th, 12/12, is my birthday. And so it feels incredibly aligned and just fun to offer pre-sale pricing for this transmission of Absolute Abundance at a quarter of what the full price will eventually be for the next 12 days. These Absolute Abundance transmissions are designed to activate and awaken parts of you that will allow you to expand into abundance in your own unique way as we move into this new era of prosperity and humanity. So if this message resonated with you, if you know that you're here to grow and experience your soul's expansion and do big things, if you have that inner knowing and you know that you're ready to tap into these frequencies and you're ready to deepen the way that you navigate money and wealth and really master it in this new era of abundance, then this is absolutely for you. The link to get all of the details on the Absolute Abundance transmissions and claim your copy of it is in the link in the description box below. I'll probably also pin it for you in the comments. If you are still here with me, thank you for watching. Thank you for receiving this. Thank you for opening yourself up to see what comes out of these sorts of transmissions. I hope that this message activated or awakened something beautiful within you. And if it did, of course, I would love to hear about it in the comments. And if you enjoyed this video, be sure to like it. That always helps us to get this message to more people who need to hear it. And of course, if you aren't already, be sure to subscribe to my channel here so that you can get more channeled messages, pick a card readings for abundance in the future, and other tools and tips for manifesting wealth into your life in a spiritually aligned way. And if it feels aligned to you, I would be so honored and excited to get to share the Absolute Abundance transmissions with you. Again, the link for that is in the description below, and as well as the link for my Wealth Vibe membership if you want to be one of those people who gets first access to stuff like this, first dibs, extra discounts on things like that. Also has access to purchase private readings from me. Those aren't available to the public, and so many other perks and things we do in there to help manifest wealth into your life using spirituality and different modalities and tools. So that being said, thank you for being here, and I will talk to you in another video very soon. Bye.